Pisces, welcome to your astrology reading for the month of March. And so before I even get started, this is going to be most applicable for your rising sign. In order to figure out what your rising sign is, it's also known as your ascendant. You do need to run a birth chart if you haven't already. And it does require you to know the exact time that you were born and the location that you were born in order to see just where that is placed in your chart. And the reason it's the most accurate is this is how other people perceive you. It's also how these are constructed. Your sun sign is also going to be applicable. It is how you express yourself. And then, of course, there's your moon sign. This is how you process everything through that emotional lens. And so kind of jumping into the energy of this month here, there is a mix of Pisces energy. So happy birthday if you are a March Pisces, and Aries this month. And so at the end of the month, we'll enter into Aries. And so for you, this is going to impact your first house and your second house. You're going to see a lot of those themes. First house is your house of self. Second house is all about your personal wealth. This is your financial portfolio, if you want to think of it that way, the things that you value. And I keep getting paintings, and so paintings could be significant maybe for somebody out there, but those are the two that are really being highlighted this month. So it's all about you and your finances. And so early in the month, we'll have Mercury enter the sign of Aries. So that happens on the 9th, and it happens at 11:03 p.m. Eastern time. And so when that happens, we'll have Mercury, Chiron, and the North Node all in the sign of Aries. And so North Node is the eclipse. That'll become important at the end of the month when we have an eclipse. But for you, this Aries energy, so this is going to impact your finances, your personal finances. And Mercury will be conjunct the sun in Pisces. And so we're talking about your personal finances and your house of self. When it comes to how do you see yourself? Because the goals here, the dreams that you have relate to you and how you want to be seen, your physical person, who do you want to be? And then what kind of changes need to happen, or what kind of communication do you need to have as it relates to your personal finances in order to be the person that you want to be? And so Mercury in Aries is a kind of excitable type of energy, maybe even impulsive at times, just because that is the energy of Aries, and your first house of Pisces. So really it's about your personal goals and kind of getting excited about them. Mercury will also be conjunct Neptune and Pisces. And so Neptune and Pisces, again, get clear on exactly who you are, who you want to be, and then how do your finances play into that? We'll also have Mercury sextile Pluto in Aquarius. And so for you, Pluto in Aquarius impacts your 12th house. Your 12th house is your subconscious, but really it's all about like that internal processing. And so these would be things that you maybe don't communicate to other people. This is the house of hidden secrets and really anything hidden. And so this is about Pluto in Aquarius, any kind of internal changes that need to happen to you. So thinking about how you look at yourself, how you view yourself, what here needs to change, because Pluto is transformation. Aquarius is liberation. Is there any kind of way that maybe you talked to yourself in the past that prevents you from going after your goals? Does that need to be changed? Really, it's that internal reflection of yourself. There's something here that needs to be modified. With a sextile, it does require you to take some action, but really the ultimate goal is, okay, I have this vision for myself externally. So what changes need to happen internally? And then how do my finances play into it? Because that's the energy that is going to pretty much play out for this entire month. And it shows up again pretty early on in the month. And then right after this, we'll have the new moon in Pisces. And so this is on the 10th at 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So just hours later. When that happens, we'll have the moon, sun, Saturn, and Neptune all in the sign of Pisces. And with this new moon, so the sun and the moon are at the same degree point in the sky. That is what a new moon is. So there's a real blending of the energies here. So again, sun, how you express yourself, moon, how you feel about everything here. And it will be conjunct Neptune and Pisces. And so when it comes to yourself, when it comes to who you are and who you want to be, how do you see yourself? What is your ultimate goal here? What dreams do you have for yourself? And then we'll have the moon and the sun conjunct Saturn in Pisces. And so Saturn is all about, okay, that's great. You have this idea on who you want to be. How do you get there? What steps do you need to take? What strategy do you need to come up with? Because that's the Saturn energy. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to come up with a game plan and then execute it. That's what Saturn requires here. And then on the 11th at 5:51 p.m. Eastern time, we'll have Venus, Saturn, the sun, and Neptune all in the sign of Pisces. And so right away, Venus will be conjunct Mars, but Mars is in Aquarius. And so Venus in Pisces is your dreams, but it's all about bringing things together. What is it that you value? What is it that you want? That's the Venus type of energy. And then Mars in Aquarius says, okay, this is liberating change here. Mars, what doesn't belong here anymore? And it would be something probably radical that needs to change here. And so where this is impacting you, this conjunction is your first house and your 12th house. First house is your external physical self. 12th house is your internal self. So really thinking about the mind, your subconscious. These would be behaviors that maybe have been so ingrained in you since childhood that you may not even realize that you're doing it. And so this would be a lot of the self-talk that needs to be changed. And not even changed, but radically changed, because that's what the Mars and Aquarius energy wants to do here. It wants to remove any of these self-imposed barriers that you've created internally that prevent you from having that external life that you're looking for. And then on the 19th, we'll have the sun enter Aries. And so that's going to happen at 11:07 p.m. Eastern time. And so this is the vernal equinox. So in the Northern Hemisphere, this is the start of spring. Love it, because this is all about the warmer temperatures. But this is 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night. It only happens twice a year. So really, really great energy there. And even more fire energy coming into the mix. So we'll have the sun in Aries. We'll also have the moon in Leo. Both fire signs, lots of passion, lots of drive, lots of charisma around this new year. This is the astrological new year, so there is that happening here. For you, the second house is Aries and sixth house is Leo. And so second house of Aries, personal finances. What actions do you want to take around it? Sixth house of Leo. What about your daily life may need to be changed here? Because the moon in Leo is about creative self-expression. So again, self-expression. How do you feel about everything? How do you feel about yourself? What changes do you want to make here? Because these two energies, they are trine. So there is an easy blend of the energies. It's not as great as a conjunction, but it's pretty close. And so this is about focusing on your personal finances and maybe what changes to your daily life need to be made. Then we have the sun in Aries conjunct Neptune in Pisces. And so again, we're talking about action. What action do you want to take? Neptune in Pisces. And how does that relate to your dreams? This is again, second house, first house energy. And so really focusing here on the actions around your finances and how does that relate to who you are, who you want to be. And again, with that moon in Leo, that creative expression of self. How does this feel authentic to you? Because that's the ultimate goal here, is that you want to do things, that's what this moon in Leo says, you want to do things that ultimately feel good for you, that feel right for you. So make sure that the action that you're taking is in your best interest, because that's the goal. We'll also have the sun sextile Pluto in Aquarius. And again, so when it comes to your finances and the actions you're taking there, what kind of internal blocks may have existed that need to go away? Because again, Pluto in Aquarius is saying these don't matter. Something here needs to change. You need to talk to yourself differently. You need to look at this differently, see it through a different lens, take a different perspective here. This is all that internal 12th house energy. And again, it's all happening inside you. It's nothing that's happening external. Then on the 22nd, we'll have Mars enter Pisces. So that happens at 7:48 p.m. Eastern time. And so when it happens, we'll have Mars, Venus, Saturn, and Neptune all in the sign of Pisces. But we'll have Mars opposite the moon in Virgo. And so Mars in Pisces, again, actions as they relate to your dreams, because Mars is very similar to that kind of Aries sun energy. Mars is the ruler of Aries, so that shouldn't be a surprise. And so Pisces, again, all about your dreams. And so moon in Virgo is a very healing type of energy. That's what Virgo is. It's a very in-service, healing type of energy. With you, this is impacting your first house and your seventh house. And so what changes, or what are you doing for yourself? What kind of goals do you have for yourself? What action, what do you want to remove from your life? And then how does that relate to your significant relationships? So your one-to-one relationships, maybe a marriage partner, maybe a significant other. This could even be about contracts and negotiations, because that's also part of that seventh house energy. And because there's an opposition here, it's like, okay, and maybe from a financial standpoint, you have goals of starting your own business and you need to incorporate some sort of contract here, but maybe you've always been shy about having some sort of contract negotiation conversation because you just don't feel comfortable talking about money, that could be highlighted here. That would be some of that push-pull energy. So what actions do you need to take to go after your dreams that are in some sort of push-pull with contracts negotiations, or standing up for yourself as far as like relationships goes and marriages go, something along those lines. Because it definitely is coming across as like some sort of restriction here needs to change. It needs to be healed. Highlighting healed. We'll also have Mars square Uranus and Taurus. And so again, Mars is sitting in your first house, Uranus and Taurus. So Uranus it's literally the Tower card in tarot. And so this would be sudden change, but this is change that's necessary to happen. And with this Taurus energy, it's very grounded. It's an earth sign. It's about what you value. And so Uranus is saying in Taurus, okay, well, if this isn't going to work for you, then why are you holding on to it? It doesn't need to be here. We can just remove it from your life. And so you look at your first house, again, Mars and Pisces, this is a very action-oriented, going after your dreams. Uranus and Taurus, okay, let's ground everything in reality and see, does this align with what you value, with what you want here? And if it doesn't, okay, let's figure out a way to move through it, because this is a square energy. So there is some sort of challenge here. So it may feel very uncomfortable to do, but you can do it. I mean, it's an opposition. You can do it. Then at the end of the month, we will have a lunar eclipse. So this is technically a full moon. It is a lunar eclipse, and it's going to happen on the 25th at 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. And so this is when the moon will be in Libra and the sun will be in Aries, and they will be opposing each other in the sky. And with you, I mean, this is South Node, North Nodes. We're in the Aries Libra eclipse season. For you specifically, this is going to impact both financial houses. So second house, your personal finances, that's the Aries energy. That's what you've been trying to go after this entire time, really focused on your personal energy, and then how does that relate to your finances. But it's also that 8th house energy. So 8th house would be the money that you earn. This would be money that you get from your employer. This is also the house of transformation. So it's that death and rebirth type of energy. And so what is it that you're trying to do here? How do you relate money to transformation? What needs to change? Because again, this is all kind of coming back to who you are, what you want for yourself, what kind of changes are necessary here. And so when you think about your personal finances and the money you make from other people, what are you trying to change about the money you make from other people? Do you maybe see yourself, and this would be kind of that first house goal, do you see yourself as a CEO? And so you need to make changes to your spending habits today in order to make that happen, in order to be able to go after more money, earn more money from a company or from some sort of employer somewhere, or maybe even starting your own business. All of these things are kind of part of this financial picture and all the transformation that's taking place. We will have the moon opposite Neptune in Pisces. And again, so this is about what is it that you want, that moon in Libra. How do you balance yourself? How do you balance exactly what it is that you're trying to do against the goals that you have? And so what kind of transformation needs to happen in order for you to have the life that you want to live? That's what this is coming down to. It is an opposition. You are going to have to work through this energy, but it is possible because this is very much a push-pull type of energy. And then we'll have the moon trine Pluto in Aquarius. And so trines are very easy going kind of energy. So anything that you want to transform about yourself, and this would be that internal transformation with that Pluto in Aquarius, again, kind of 12th house up in your kind of headspace about it. And then 8th house Libra. So 8th house Libra, it's about coming together. It is about balance with that energy. And so what kind of internal blocks do you have as far as really achieving the financial goals that you've set for yourself, or maybe the life that you're trying to live for yourself? Because that's all really intertwined here. There's so much connection between the money that you have, the money that you want to make, the changes that you want to make to yourself, both internally and externally, in order to go after your goals, in order to pursue your dreams here of having the life that you want. And so all of this is being highlighted. Your energy is pretty consistent throughout the month. I mean, this is definitely one of the better readings for the month of March. So Pisces, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.